Thank you, and welcome back to another reading of The Changeling Doll. Doll. Anyway, on our last reading, I read with an Australian accent. Well, I'm going to finish that for all comedy purposes, so sit down, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. Ah, felt good to say. Anyway, on the last bit, Twilight decided to open up her box and shoot at the changeling. Well, we're gonna finish this, and I've realized, after loading the last video, I can load more than 9 minutes. So we're going to not reread. We are going to completely finish the story tonight, or day, or evening, or whatever time this planet you're on. Anyway, so let's get back to it. And I am Frisky Skittles reading The Changeling Doll. Twilight slowly walked up to her changeling doll. She was amazed. Have we really progressed this far? How has society managed to make a golem through mixture of flesh, magic, and technology? How did she not already know about this? Twilight always keeps up to date on the recent findings in intellectual pursuits. Loudly clearing her throat. Please refer to the instruction manual for further input. Twilight rolled her eyes and spoke up. Enter registration mode. Twilight softly, yet clearly pronounced. Thank you for purchasing the Changeling Doll. We hope you have an amazing magical experience with all the adventures of the Changeling Doll will give you. Twilight really wished the sales pony weren't so ludicrous as they were. In order to make sure your Changeling Doll isn't stolen or used by unwanted ponies, please insert a DNA sample into the Changeling Doll's mouth. It is recommended to use a strand of hair. Still paranoid that this might be a trick, the sadist in Twilight considered handing it a cup she had peed in. After a small amount of internal debating, she decided she didn't want to ruin one of her cups. With a sigh, she plucked a hair out of her mane and levitated into the changeling's mouth. Thank you. Please tell the Changeling Doll your full name. Twilight Sparkle. Twilight Sprinkler. Is that correct? No! Twilight said in frustration. So much for being the most advanced doll in the brilliant minds of Canterlot. I'm sorry. Please try entering your name again. Twilight Sparkle. Twilight slowly said. Twilight Sparkle. Is that correct? Yes. Thank you, Twilight Sparkle. If you wish to register another pony as an owner, please tell me. Enter new owner. After we finish the registration process. Twilight Sparkle, please pick an objective for me that I am intended for. Twilight blinked. She didn't know what to use the doll for. She didn't even know changeling dolls existed up until this point. She didn't need a sibling. She already had one. Spike was sort of like her child, although neither of them would ever say it. She already had 5 best friends. She definitely didn't need to want to serve it. She's already seen what that does to most of the unicorns in Canterlot. And she definitely didn't want that to become like them. Parental figure? Ha! She had 3 of them. When she became free of her parents breathing down her neck, she had Celestia keeping a constant eye on her. Never yelling at her, just gently frowning. That frown. That horrible frown. Twilight Sparkle shook her head. She didn't need another panic attack right now. Twilight laughed at the last choice. A lover! Really? Like she needed a lover. Sure, she never tried dating a cult, or had talked to them, or had talked with them with her friends, or who would make a changeling? No, a changeling doll. Their lover anyway? This is just an object that can turn into anything you want. You're intended to be... to be... You want to be my best friend. I want you to be my best friend. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you are saying. Could you repeat that, Twilight Sparkle? You are intended to be my best friend. Okay, Twilight Sparkle. I would like to be your best friend. Twilight lowered her head in shame. She couldn't believe herself. She almost used a fake changeling to live out some of her most romantic fantasies. Having a best friend is better. Twilight thought to herself, since this was a doll, She could complain about things she could never say to her other friends, or have someone finally gush with her over her pursuits. She could share secrets. She wouldn't even tell a diary. In fact, the more she thought about it, it was the perfect choice. I have a various minds and personalities poured into me, but I would like to get to know you, Twilight Sparkle. Please connect your forehead to my horn. If you are a unicorn, please connect your horn to mine. Twilight now understood the changeling's whole scheme. It made her tell it what she wanted most out of another pony, and is going to brainwash her. Twilight smirked. If that's its game, it's in for a nasty surprise. Twilight conjured an anti-brainwash ward she made it after the changeling's invasion. It doesn't work unless it's being actually cast, but she didn't have to worry about that now. If the stupid bug tried to so much as suggest something in her head, he would get completely fried. Confidently, Twilight smoothly trotted over to the changeling and connected their horns. It had been 15 minutes now, and Twilight was starting to freak out. She dealt with the doll inside her mind, but it never once ordered her to do anything. All it has done was murkily yet quirkily search her mind. Certain parts of her head tingled as it searched different spots. Twilight was starting to suspect this was really a doll after all. I'm done. Thanks for your patience, Twilight. I really appreciate how you've been handling this. This whole thing has been very stressful for you, especially after having such a long day. I promise I'll make it up to you. I'll be your best friend you ever had. That voice. That voice was the voice of an angel. It somehow had the cheery excitement of Pinkie Pie, while the soothing murmur of Fluttershy eyes. It was homely and friendly like Applejack, yet somehow refrained like Rarities, all the while having the confidence of Rainbow Dash, making you feel like nothing was ever going to go wrong. Twilight immediately felt safe from that voice. It was the voice of her friends. Yet it wasn't a female's voice. It was a male. A sexy, sexy male voice for a sexy, sexy friend. Her best friend and nothing more. I'm sorry, Twilight, but I just need one more thing. Could you think of a cool appearance for me, please? I just need you to touch your horn to mine and think of what I should be. Twilight smiled. She never was into dressing up dolls as a little girl, but being able to make any type of pony you want sounded fun. She touched her horn to his and focused. She always liked Luna's fur color, and started there. She decided to go with a purple mane, a little darker than her own. Not short, but not long enough that he would have to comb it out of his eyes. She made the doll slightly taller than her. With a thin body frame, he had thin legs and a feminine muzzle. Twilight was a little uncomfortable around Stallion, so she wanted to make some pony who wasn't too intimidating. Glasses sounded cute, so she decided to give him bad eyesight. Speaking of eyes, she made them a cheery green to have a pleasant-looking contrast. His tail would be long. Lastly, she made him a unicorn, being the most comfortable around her previous race. Twilight opened her eyes and gasped. Standing before her was a Pegasus significantly taller than her. He had a wide, masculine frame and thick legs. His coat was pure white. His mane was a deep red that slowly spread out to a light yellow. The Pegasus mane was long and combed back behind his head. On his square muzzle was a small fiery red goatee. His eyes were such a bright yellow they almost looked white. Twilight felt as if his gaze was burning into her. His tail was short, spiky red, then spread out to a yellow, like his mane. While Twilight gaped at the fine specimen standing before her, she wrapped a comforting wing around Twilight. Twilight barely made a note in her head that having a wing around her felt way better than it should. Twilight, are you all right? He asked in a tone dripping with concern and warmth. Yes, Yeah, yep, I'm fine. The most fine mare around. Wait, no, I mean mentally, not physically. I'm not sexy, but you're not ugly either. Ugh. His soft laughter made her blush. Calm down. It's okay, Twilight. I could never be upset with you, he said gently. These dolls know. This doll knows what she wants more than she does, and it scares her. As the doll said something, Twilight's eyes loomed over his body, drinking it in. This wasn't what she thought up at all for him. Stupid doll, Twilight said. All right, my name is Stupid Doll then. Stupid Doll said cheerily. No, wait, no. That's wrong, what's wrong, Twilight? I didn't mean to name you that. And the doll pressed his lips together in a way Twilight found unbearably cute. I'm sorry, my name can't be changed for another 24 hours. You're going to have to wait till then. Twilight groaned. Stupid doll. Yes? No, I mean, ah. Doll waited for her to continue. Waited for her continue. Seeing her stop talking, he spoke up. The registration is now complete. Let's become best friends, Twilight. He tightened his hug with his wings tight slightly. Yeah, friends. Twilight tried to look anywhere except at Doll. Twilight was too tired for this. She should have been in bed an hour ago. Her pillow beckoned for her, but she couldn't just leave her doll here, unless she could. Grabbing Doll and turned him around, she pushed him into her closet. I need to sleep. Stay here till morning, Twilight ordered. All right, Doll said cheerily as Twilight closed the door on him. With a sigh, Twilight headed towards her bed and flopped on it. Whatever happens next, it can wait till morning. Well, that was interesting. Oh, there's more. Hold on. Doll winced in pain. The 2 shots Twilight blasted with him hurting. It wouldn't kill him, but it was going to hurt for a while. Giving a sigh of relief, he smiled. He did it. He was in. That's not a bad chapter. Well, I don't know what to say. Let's read some of the comments here. Old Spice commercial. It turned into what she found attractive instead of what she desired. Yes, she was too distracted by the sexy to complain. Tweaked the race line. This indeed was a great... I will recommend this story. Well, anyway, if you want to see the next chapter, I will read it. Alrighty, I will see you on the next book, people. You get what I'm saying. If you wish for me to continue to stay reading this story with my Australian accent, please let me know in the comments. I'm still going to read because I'm going to do this all night for the night, and then I shall post them later. Alright. I love you all. Thank you for watching. And for those who know me, I am sorry I'm reading this. It was recommended to me, so, yeah. Sorry. Bye.